Did you know caliente in Spanish means hot? That is no more true than it is at its namesake, the Caliente clothing optional resort in Florida. Let's take a look. Caliente has become a special place to visit, quite often discreetly for many celebrities. Among others, guests have included Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, and Dennis Rodman. Many television specials and reports have been filmed at the resort. Well, let's go back. In April 1987, the naturist club called Joy of Life was born. Over 250 guests were there to open the Blackberry Lakes property, which offered the use of the property's, well, 3 lakes. The Joy of Life Club included the land, which later became Caliente Resort. The word Caliente seemed the most appropriate to name the place since it portrayed the group's objective of developing the hottest nudist resort in North America. Caliente Tampa opened in 2004, immediately set new standards in clothing optional luxury. The resort lies 25 miles north of the Tampa airport and sits on a private 125-acre estate. The design blends harmoniously with the natural landscape, and it features a nature trail designed for walking, jogging, and cycling. Caliente Tampa is a self-contained resort with shopping, restaurants, bars, entertainment, great facilities, and activities all on site. Except for the pools, which are all clothing free, the entire resort is clothing optional. When I describe the resort to people, I literally tell them the grounds felt like some of the Caribbean resorts I've experienced. It's awesome to be able to experience that kind of thing so close to home, at least for me. The clubhouse is beautiful. 33,000 square feet, includes a luxury spa featuring 11 treatment rooms, massage and facial specialties, hand and foot care, hydrotherapy, and exotic body treatments. There's also a bar, restaurant, fitness center, boutique, and a great little nightclub for your enjoyment. There's a piano bar, you know, if that's your thing, and don't knock it before you try it. It can be a lot of fun. Other clubhouse amenities include a library, the adult lingerie and toy store downstairs, a laundrette, and an ATM machine. Plus, there is a playroom that we're going to talk about a little later. Elsewhere on the grounds, you can find beverages from the Tiki Bar or the Grotto Bar, and they're both located close to the pool. Or you can have your drinks delivered to you poolside by one of the amazing ladies there. And speaking of pools, if pools are your thing, you are in luck, as there are 7 pools, including a 1/4-acre lagoon pool with 2 islands and a grotto waterfall, 2 hot tubs, 2 water volleyball pools, and 2 50-person plus conversation pools. To me, the look of the lagoon area is what I really think of when I hear the word Caliente. It's very stylish, and the grotto water, the falls, is just amazing to see and hear. I'd have loved to hang out under the falls, you know, during my last visit. However, the lagoon water is unheated, and it was pretty cool during my last visit, so I just limited myself to, you know, enjoying it visually. It seemed to me that most people made use of the water features, either sitting around in the plethora of beach chairs or standing and drinking in the pools, you know, up to your waist in water, you know, or the hot tub conversing. If being stationary and imbibing aren't necessarily to your liking, there are also recreational activities including 2 sand volleyball courts, 2 water volleyball courts, 6 tennis courts, yes, that can also be used for pickleball, 4 pétanque courts, 2 shuffleboard courts, and a basketball court. That's a lot of courts. The restaurant inside the clubhouse was very nicely decorated, and the food was delicious. The service time was a little bit slow the day I was there, but the staff was extremely friendly and helpful. In fact, every staff person I ran into treated me very well. Or, if you prefer to eat by the pool, that's a good option as well. Everything tastes better when you're sitting around that little paradise setting there. Now, my opinion of the experience. I have to agree that this place ranks very high in the clothing optional resort category. The Florida weather benefits this place, continuing that tropical feel you get. The grounds were beautiful and the facility was lavish. I talked to some people that used to live there, and they tell me that it's a little bit more run down compared to its heyday, and I don't have their level of experience with the place, nor do I doubt what they said, but I found it to be very nice, at least to my taste. The only really thing I can call out is that there were some little cracks here and there that had been patched up, and there was some construction going on around the hot tub, but you know, that comes with the territory. People seem very nice and talkative. I visited with a group this time and greatly enjoyed sitting around in the pool chairs, eating and conversing with my friends. It was an awesome time. The lower conversation pool was conveniently close by, but pretty much turned into a shoulder-to-shoulder event as more and more people just kept filing in to join in the conversations or start new ones. This pool has always stayed pretty packed every time I've visited the resort. So, you know, it is what it is. There's a DJ and music around this tiki bar area, you know, kind of on and off all day. You can also hear the karaoke DJ over at the Grotto Bar as people exercise their vocal cords. You know, some good, some less good. The upper conversation pool was somewhat kidney-shaped, much quieter, and a good bit less busy. This pool became my favorite spot as the group took over one end of the pool, and we basically soaked away the afternoon in conversation and in, well, water. Pretty much any clothing optional venue I've been to always has a wide cross-section of ages, sizes, and backgrounds. Caliente is no different, though I would say that the population leaned much more in the favor of younger and trimmer people. The reason for that might be that this club caters to those in the swinger lifestyle as well as just nudists. This resort is not AANR sanctioned because of these activities, though with that said, it was a good place to get your nude on if that's all you wanted. Well, you know, maybe until darkness starts to set in.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I was told that there was an uneasy truce between the nudists and the swingers, in that nudists got the daytime and the swingers own the night. Once twilight sets in, the place undergoes a change and becomes much more risque. Interestingly enough, during the day, people pretty much went full nude, though there were a good number of ladies, you know, with bathing suit bottoms on, things like that, cover-ups, whatever. Once the evening set in, sexy clothing became more the norm, and little black dresses and lingerie and such, you know, dominated the guest wardrobe. I guess they were putting on their finery to attract their target for the evening. Now that I think of it, that might have been the majority of the conversation in the lower conversation pool, you know, the interview process. The nightclub was about what you would expect, with nice decor, a good cross-section of music, drinks, really cool lighting, monitors on the walls, and a dance floor. The DJ started around 8 p.m. and people there seemed to be a little bit reluctant to get out and dance. You know, it's really not unusual in any venue. Maybe they didn't want their dance moves to, you know, offset all the work they've been doing to attract somebody all day. Who knows? I don't know. I enjoyed the dance. Apparently the same conversation pool I enjoyed so much during the day became a performance venue as public displays of affection, you know, if you know what I mean, became totally acceptable, and it seemed to be more of a spectator sport. I was wondering what was going on as I saw people taking up positions in chairs around the upper pool in the hot tub just before dark, I guess to get a good seat for the action. I was told a number of interesting stories about the history of this, and I'm not going to relate them right now. And I promised we would talk about it. There is a playroom, you know, that for those that prefer their naughty activities inside. The playrooms had a turbulent history, and in the past was shut down for a pretty good bit of time for permit violations, I'm told. Undaunted, a new play area was set up in one of the condos across the way so that this could, you know, continue unabated, if not a little bit more inconvenient. All of that's been taken care of now, and it's back to its original spot underneath the clubhouse, and coincidentally located, you know, right next to the lingerie and toy shop. There are hours posted on a sign outside, and be sure to check it, as it is not always open, and you might find yourself waiting until the next active period. There are a number of theme nights going out through the year with things such as Spring Break, Do It in Dreams, Superhero and Villains, Bunny Love, Fast and Furious, Nuttin' But Net, and Electric Tape It Up, and that's just what's going on in April. It's a busy, busy calendar. You can always find something happening there. There's a lot of daily activities going on as well, like fitness classes, meet and greets, Zumba, billiards. There's also outdoor activities scattered around, you know, little festival type things like a car show, Bear Dare 5K run, a yearly pickleball tournament. A lot of things to do there, just to name a few. So now, we can't talk about luxury without mentioning the prices. For daily memberships to use the facilities, couples can get in for $140 for all day. That's 8 a.m. to close. Or you can just come for the evening starting at 6 p.m. for $40 on the weekday, $70 on weekends. Single ladies, $40 all day, or $20 and $30 for after 6, you know, on the weekdays and weekends respectively. Sorry to you single guys, but the cost to you is going to run you $200 however you cut it. If you want to come for more than a day, they do offer hotel type rooms and condo rentals. Here's the prices for that. You can just take a look at that. You can get a little bit more granularity and information by visiting their site at calienteresorts.com. right down here. Caliente may not be for everyone, but I believe it has something for everyone. I didn't witness any grossly inappropriate behavior during the day, so I would say it's pretty safe for nudists to go and hang out, get your nude on in luxury and comfort. If you want to experience a little bit more saucy nightlife, it's there for you as well, without pressure to join in. It's kind of like a buffet, you know. You don't have to take everything that's out there on the bar, and shoot, you don't have to take anything if you don't want it. And if you want to jump in the deep end of the pool, you know, so to speak, I believe there's an opening for you there as well. So whether you come for a day visit or an all-day visit, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. But whatever you decide, you know, bring protection. And I'm not talking about just sunscreen this time. Switching gears right quick. So if you like the content you see on this channel, I would like to ask you a favor and invite you to like and subscribe. It helps the channel greatly, and it costs you nothing more than just a couple of mouse clicks. Thank you for the support so much. So thanks for joining me in this review of a great resort, and as always, be free. Oh, and don't forget the sunscreen.